like taffy. Transacting 100 each, no capping. All of these zips I'm unpacking from the rapping has got me stacking up paper like some napkins. Chilling with crews and Nobi. Low fan copper with the sabers like Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah, you know me. It's Guppy with the hashtag. I got the diamond hands, no cash grab mentality. In the metaverse, then we back to reality. I got a toad worth more than your salary. You know I hold it down like gravity, so keep my name out your mouth like a cavity. All my homies in this one, you know we go way back. Squad it up, tell them GM from a Maybach.
GM.
To all my homies.
Smooth Toads tunes from our very own Woody. Welcome to the Noun Square, everybody. As we're taking some time here for people to make their way into the room, please share the room if you can. You can share the room by hitting the bubble on the bottom right and just retweeting. And you never know, you might just win a prize. Right up, Toshi?
Pretty much guaranteed you are entered for a chance to win a prize. As long as you retweet the room. I'm retweeting from my 4 other accounts right now, so you guys can too.
4 other accounts? That sounds illegal.
That's Gucci.
What's Gucci, y'all?
No wonder she says guarantees a prize.
I don't know if you guys knew the agenda for today, but we're just going to play all of Woody's Toad songs back to back.
He has a new one premiering tonight as well.
I heard that. Alpha Drip.
We need to do the contest Toshi training on how to supercharge it.
Moti, the new one's not out yet, is it?
No, it's premiering tonight at Global Network.
Too much alpha.
What time's that at, Moti?
10 p.m. Eastern, so 15 hours from now. For anybody that's not on the same time zone.
We graduate and homie, you a freshman. You sipping on sludge, fresh dressing.
I'm sipping on some sludge myself right now.
Hey, Moti, you the homie, you a blessing.
The sludge ain't shit.
We all gonna make it, no question. I'm seeing all these toads in my mentions. Yeah, we vibing. Yo, shout out to the big homie Gremlin. When you see me in the swamp, say what's Gucci. Yo,
what's Gucci?
Hey, what's Gucci? Yo, what's Gucci? My fit so clean, yeah, that's Gucci. Oh, that's Gucci? Yeah, that's Gucci. Hey, that's Gucci? Yeah, that's Gucci. Oh, that's Gucci. When you see me in the swamp, say what's Gucci. Yo, what's Gucci? Hey, what's Gucci? Hey, what's Gucci? Yo, what's Gucci? Yo, what's Gucci? My fit so clean, yeah, that's Gucci. Oh, that's Gucci? Yeah, that's Gucci. Hey, that's Gucci? Yeah, that's Gucci. Oh, that's Gucci. Shout out to KTM. Alessandro with the Gucci drip.
What is Gucci, y'all? 2 songs about toads by our very own super tight Woody, who is currently, I guess, curled up in bed after having asked to motivate me to come on at 7:15 in the morning.
This is false information.
Oh, you were there. You're there.
I don't know what
you're
you're
there.
talking about.
Fake news.
Assault.
I didn't see you. Okay, you snuck in.
And then I just went to Discord and you're like, we live. And I was like, oh shit. So came through and everybody's talking shit. Everybody's talking shit. So
I had the actual space up and it did that. Like I was looking at the space and it just never started. I was like, what the hell is happening? I went back and then went into it again. It was already running. Come on.
Yep, that happened to me yesterday too. I think Twitter's getting tired.
Ladies and gentlemen, Twitter Spaces. Yeah. We love it.
Yeah. Wouldn't miss the show for the world though. What up, Moti? Thanks for coming through, man.
What up, GM, everybody? Thanks for taking the time to have me.
Well, why don't you tell us, Moti, what's so special about Cryptoads today in particular? I mean, they're special every day, but...
No, I mean, technically yesterday was the day, but today was the day we were going to celebrate it. I just couldn't see us having a little, like, party or get-together on a Thursday night, especially for some people who actually still, maintain day jobs that don't have time to sit by a computer or
what
join
are those?
us in spaces like this. Yeah, exactly.
So yesterday was
1 year anniversary. 1 year anniversary of Cryptoads, which, in my opinion, it came at a perfect time. I think that it came at a really good time when it comes to thinking about how things happened a year ago and how quickly maybe the time has gone for a lot of people. For me, I think at this point, it's time's going by a lot faster than anticipated for sure.
Well, as they say, a month is a year in the NFT sphere. It feels like so.
It feels like it, but it's not true because in reality, time is the exact 24 hours in a day. So
yeah, but what is reality, dude? It's been like
okay, all right.
We're getting a little
4 years
now.
Time can stretch and get smaller too.
Okay.
Time dilation.
Taking a break from the metaphysical, let's introduce the show to everybody and let them know what we do here. So this is the Noun O'Clock show at the Noun Square. And what we do is we watch the end of the Nouns auction. There's a Nouns auction every single day, forever. Today we've got a chameleon. Hello, my name is Chameleon Noun 436. He's currently got a bid of 67.23. And that is 6 minutes and 22 seconds left on the clock. So if we don't get another bid come in 6 minutes, we're going to go and play a game called FOMO. Aptoshi, can you take a stab at explaining what FOMO is for our listeners?
Of course. I'm also trying to simultaneously pin that to the top, so you guys will see that there in 1 second. But FOMO
it's all right. I'll find them now.
Okay, awesome. FOMO Nouns is a game we all play right when the Nouns auction switches over, which means there's been a winning bidder, and we now need to settle it. Instead of settling it manually, we all get to play FOMO Nouns. And so FOMO Nouns is like a hot or not for nouns. Essentially, we all get to pick this next noun together. Yesterday, we saw a front end interface that was different and awesome shenanigans, where we kind of got to see a different way to select yes or no for these nouns. But either way, I'm always on fomonouns.wtf. And then there's also a version 2, but Ben knows that URL very well.
Yes, that's v2fomonouns.netlify.app. If you're interested.
It's so much fun.
I think it's going to get merged into the normal fomonouns.wtf pretty soon.
The last thing I will say about it is that there is a list of heads that we have not minted yet. We have a bounty for them. It's kind of been our, unplanned goal here, but it's turned into something very, very fun where we are now really trying to mint these heads that have never been seen before in their whole first year of nouns. And so we're really excited to be doing that. We'll get that pinned to the top as well.
Having said that, today me and Woody want to usurp that entire thing. Go ahead, Woody.
Today we are trying to mint a frog head for the toads. That is our mission.
Perfect.
Everybody listen up. We got to do this. We got to do this for the toads.
And you know what? Some people may say, well, that's a frog and a toad are different. And to them we say, Moti, tell us what cryptodes were originally called.
They were originally called freaky frogs in the CryptoPunks Discord, because how it worked out was Gremlin was just toadifying, as you want to call it, or I guess frogifying CryptoPunk pictures. It got to a point where a lot of the bigger names in the space that you know today were using that as their PFP, and then that's how kind of Gremlin, in my opinion, started coming more to light. Obviously, he was an artist well before Freaky Frogs or Cryptodes launched, but that's where a lot of recognition started happening.
The player one cracks me up.
Well, I for one am glad that he ended up going with Cryptodes. There's something just super drippy about the toads. Not that they wouldn't have been amazing as the freaky frogs, but for today, though, we will be happy to lean into that and try to mint a freaky frog head in honor of just the day after the Cryptodes 1 year anniversary.
No, we'll just say it's a 1 year at this point. We'll just stretch the day. Instead of 24 hours, it's 38 hours, and that's how it works.
You know what? Yeah. We've done a 24-hour spaces before, Moti, and it definitely felt like 38. So we can do that for sure.
Yeah, I know. I actually was one of the first guests on the show during that night. It was incredible.
You just got to get fancy. Like, those people that celebrate their birthday for like a week, and they're just like, "Oh yeah, my birthday was on Wednesday.
Birthday week.
It's like Saturday night. It's like
birthday week."
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's exactly why we're doing that stuff tonight. We're doing that Decentraland event at 10 p.m. with Eclectic Method. Thanks to Club Neon Cat. Obviously, Woody was a part of helping create something like that and get that done. in the short time frame we did. So yeah, that's the plan. Is essentially, yes, yesterday was the official launch day, but I want to make sure if we can party or enjoy it, we can do it on a Friday or Saturday moving forward. Stretching out that birthday, you know.
I like that.
Oh, speaking of which, I just saw that the CryptoAds honorary helmet has been dropped in my account. I can't wait to put that on for DCO.
There's an honorary helmet for all CryptoAds and GI Toads members, and then obviously a claimable 1155 ERC 1155 commemorative POAP created by Gremplin, First Trip Around the Sun.
Very cool. I've got that as my PFP on my Toady Hawk account right now. It's a beautiful piece.
It's been an incredible journey, and it's fun to see a lot of familiar names that helped start and create what it is today. I think a lot of people look at me or look up to me as being one of the sole creators, but it certainly is not the case. I think that the community always shows up or shows out when it's needed. It's very, very common, and at least maybe that could also be my Twitter algorithms, but that's how I see it anyways.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's come up multiple times in our spaces, but a lot of us here who are involved in the day-to-day in Toads and Nouns, you know, we started in Toads a year ago, and it was our introduction to the fact that NFT communities could be different than the typical pump and dump 10K PFP that was popular at the time. So, you know, I personally got involved with NFTs and really became passionate about the space because of CryptoAds. And I know Woody would say the same, and I'm sure there's others up on the stage that would also echo that sentiment. So, very meaningful project.
And from my perspective, it's even more fun and interesting to be able to be in my shoes, looking at other people doing things and remember them starting, at least in my eyes, in crypto. So I think it's even more fun for somebody to be one of the creators of a project and see other people kind of branch out and really find their niche or really find where they fit in. And just being a part of the journey is something that I've always wanted to do. And it's incredible to even get the experience to obviously be up here today and give that experience to other people.
Looks like we might be able to give another experience to everybody. There's a clock in 25 seconds.
Oh, nouns. That's WTF. We're looking for a frog head.
What happens if we mint another Queen's crown?
Yeah, Mr. Boney's in the chat saying,
Mr. Boney.
Love Boney.
Good morning, Boney.
All right, everybody.
What's up?
All right, it's FOMO time.
FOMO time.
FOMO time. Let's bid up. Let's get a
Freaky Frog.
Freaky frog time.
Try to get a Freaky Frog. We'll see.
We'll see.
If anyone wants to come up on stage, just request. It's fun. We come up here. We
that's a cool one.
Not a frog.
It's not a freaky frog, though.
That's definitely not a frog vending machine.
Yeah.
It's a good vending machine, though. Damn it.
It does have a little.
Oh,
man, we love the hanger. Luckily, it was a short block, so we can't feel bad about it.
Did you guys need a hanger or no?
It's never been minted before.
Oh, see now.
We don't need anything but a frog today.
Yeah, we need a frog.
That's a brand new one, Moti, that was added for the anniversary of Nouns on the 8th of August.
So, is it okay if someone rugs us if we get a frog?
I mean, if you're faster than FOMO, go for it. But
I mean, I'm not. I'm just putting it out there for that. We know there's someone.
You know, there's the FOMO.
We know there's one
loose.
person.
Oh, we need a brain too. Shit.
That brain.
I like this brain.
Oh,
Brain is so good.
That was a good.
This is gonna be one of those days where like
that hurt a little.
one is
It hurt a little.
We're all looking for a frog and we're missing. You guys are telling me there's a bounty out there.
Oh, dude, there's been like already 3. Here's 4 like really dope nouns that we're just
also
killing.
wet money hasn't been minted either.
Wet money hasn't been minted. The heart head.
Oh, that's
it would have been a good one.
So Moti,
on
when the noun head was 420, we stayed here for a half an hour trying to get a weed head.
Yep.
We eventually.
Oh, that's a good vending machine.
Oh, that was such a clean vending machine.
Oh, man.
Not a frog.
And then the very next day, Moti, a weed head popped up like three in, and we minted it for 421, 422.
Hey,
That wasn't even a good weed head.
Oh, that's such a good invisible noggle.
It's like almost invisible.
Why do we do this to ourselves?
Yo, this is like
masochism.
This is crazy.
Shot in the dark.
It's
the
intelligent.
craziest amount of cool nouns that have popped up.
This always happens when we're going for something specific.
Yeah,
the moment the blockchain news, we're going for something specific. It's like, oh, you're not going to mint the cool things? Okay, let me throw all of them at you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Toshi, what were you saying about motivation? Did I hear that?
No, she was just saying thanks to Moti, I think.
Sarcastically.
We have
Thanks
no
for
sarcasm.
highlighting that.
Listen, it's early. I'll go back to bed.
Thanks for waking up early.
Aww.
That's what happens on the Noun Square. You wake up early, we bully you, and then we're done.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Stamps.com.
Oh, we got a dog fight.
Oh.
Hey now.
Who's that?
We've been here for like 5 minutes. This is already an eventful space.
I don't know what that was, but I don't really care. I don't have a dog in that fight, so.
Well, they get really excited during FOMO now. I think they like feel the energy.
Oh, my cat came right in the room the moment we started, so I definitely.
Oh my gosh, I thought I heard a little meow like a
Yeah.
cat when you unmuted.
Yeah, it's Hunter.
That was the cat.
Winston. Yeah.
That was the cat saying, "Mint the cat."
He's like, you're not normally up around this time, so I need to make sure everything's okay.
Oh.
For some reason, Moti,
mint and mouth.
For some reason, I'm picturing you as like the bad guy from, is it Care Bears with the cat?
Inspector Gadget.
Oh, Inspector Gadget, yeah.
Austin Powers.
I'll get you.
Dr. Claw.
Dr. Claw, that's right.
Oh my god,
this
the brain!
brain,
I'm
it's
voting
so
the brain
good.
down.
Moti docs as Dr. Claw.
Yeah.
Brain pain today.
Oh my lord.
Somebody like set up. Somebody set us up with like all these
I'm so upset that we missed Third Brain.
Yeah.
Ooh, CCO Rainbow.
Tough day at the office.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to.
Oh my god.
Chef Pat. Oh my god.
And nothing's better than Cardinal Pie.
What? Oh, that one's so clean and great.
That is.
Dude, we're just like
great.
We saw an awesome freaking frog the other day.
Yep, we did. It was the wrong
We're
day.
gonna have to go to YOLO Nouns after this, definitely.
That is the wrong time.
Just to like get out the energy, yeah.
Wow,
Oh my lord.
What's
What's it called when you like
so
put a bunch
long.
of people like up against the wall and shoot them?
A firing
Execution.
squad? Or an
firing
execution?
Oh.
Yeah, firing squad.
That's
This is
okay.
like the firing squad of nouns right
That's
now.
okay, Woody.
I'm, like definitely gonna.
I'll throw together an in memoriam video for the really cool ones we're missing.
That's good, guys. That's good, guys. This is a safe place you can vent away.
Can you put it to that one Sarah McLaughlin song, In the Arms of an Angel?
Yeah, I was planning to.
Doom Island.
There's some Toady jokes that are just like they cut so deep that you don't even understand that they're jokes, and then it hits you. You know?
It hits
and
you
it
like
only
that
works
sludge.
for that 13 seconds ever.
Well, sometimes he likes to mix in a little cement to make them hard.
Exactly. That's the trick.
Oh,
Like a minute and a half later, I'm like, oh.
Oh, that fucking guy.
I do that at least.
It's a slow burn.
Oh my gosh!
No,
Come
she-
on, come on, frog. Where you at?
Krell
It better
just
be
said,
a good-looking frog.
Everyone's
Krell
going to be
just said
so
that
used to clicking
Shenanigans is gonna help us mint the frog. So
Nice.
Oh,
we got the
fantastic.
whole crew on board.
Nice.
Oh, this peyote.
Beautiful peyote.
Woody probably was like to Moti, just a 10-15-minute chat, and we're gonna keep him here for an hour of phone.
No, it's fine. Listen, it's completely fine.
I like that con, dude. Dang.
Funny enough, I couldn't sleep. I was so excited to come on this. I'm not kidding. I actually was in I'm in a really, really good mood, and I'm really, really thankful.
But we're gonna be whale on a wave.
We're gonna be playing until the Decentraland party starts.
Yeah, we're gonna play for the next 15 hours.
Back to Noun's winner.
Yeah.
But we just
Queen Dino.
That's like a DC investor Dino.
Every time we have a goal head, Ryan Mack has to sacrifice a dino that he really wants.
I knew it was coming. I didn't even care.
Oh wow, that's a nice. Oh man,
that's mixer.
I got mixed feelings about that one.
That's really sharp.
Oh man, he's like a '60s music producer.
Yeah. He's got the back of the Flying J.
Oh, that's so cool.
Those noggles should be called horned rim. I know they're not, but they should be. That's what they look like.
Oh my god!
Oh, this chainsaw.
That's the Texas. That's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre noun right there.
Dude, yeah.
The Doom. Oh my Jesus!
This is straight up the Doom chainsaw. Yeah.
This is a selfie of 9999 in the 70s.
Oh, he deconstructed the carrot. Heavy bonsai.
Ooh, another pineapple.
Another dinosaur.
Sacrifice.
Oh yeah, that's a nice shirt.
That was a piney dino, Ryan.
Oh, yeah, or a Dineapple.
Dineapple.
Dineapple sounds poisonous. I don't know.
Piney dino.
Should we eat that? I don't know. Sounds sus. We got another mixer. Ooh.
I like the other one. The other one is better noggles.
Yeah.
Yeah, these ones are a bit more hip, but
yeah, a little extra hip.
Oh, the film. Oh man,
comedy film.
Yeah, that's right.
Guys, you're giving me deep regrets of telling you to get a frog at this point every time.
When we do, it'll be so good.
When we do,
here's the question: what if it's a frog, but it's not that? What if it's ugly?
I don't care.
We're gonna make it just like we did the wizard's hat. Wizard's style.
It could be the ugliest.
It's pretty good. I like
it.
That.
What's that?
Did you just say it was ugly out loud?
I said I didn't, but I think you just did.
The tooth of Trogdor.
Why would you undo all of the backpedaling you did during that space?
Exactly. Wait, I thought it was Andrew Ladisaw that was the backpedaler.
It was both of you.
Yeah, it was more Andrew.
It was more Andrew.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't say that I didn't
Doom
care.
Shark.
Oh, the shark!
Doom Shark with the teal noggles. Very nice.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Oh, like ice blue shark. Oh.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's.
I'm upset.
Someone has set us up.
I need to go to counseling after this.
These are some of the best nouns I've ever seen. It's
sketchy.
Think of it as a sacrifice that we were making to the Cryptodes community, you know?
Okay, good.
Well, as long as it's recorded, I can always play it back 10 years from now and remind myself why.
I'm getting the whole thing.
Don't worry, Robot Fish Girl will do a 10-minute low-fat showing all the awesome nouns that we didn't make.
Yes.
The low-fat for today is not going to be about the Cryptodes at all. It's just going to be FOMO.
In memoriam?
I'll do a separate in the morning.
Oh, no.
It's teasing us at this point.
I'm sorry, I had to vote yes for that just so it didn't take it personally because that was such a nice noun.
When you need to fight gingivitis, call the Foo Fighters.
Well done.
Wait, now we're going after Colgate as well? Wow, we're going to be sponsored in no time.
Whose dogs are going?
Well, yeah. The Noun Square logo is going to look like a NASCAR driver where it's just going to have a bunch of sponsors stickers all over it.
That's a good idea, actually. We buy a noun and we cover it with ads.
Sponsorship stickers. We should
like
really make
an
Stamps.com accessory is needed yesterday.
We can
Install.com
expand the
accessory.
noun to 3200 by 3200 pixels and sell each pixel to a advertising company.
You get to give us
Like
one
the
stone color.
Kenneth.
Oh God.
There goes our chef hat again.
I don't think we've even seen a chef hat the entire week that we were trying to mint the chef hat.
No, we didn't. And now we've got two.
What can you do?
Fry?
I'd like to see a chef DAO formed. A DAO formed around food.
Oh, there
is one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have food ones, yeah.
Lucky you. There's a bunch of people in here involved in food nouns.
Nom nom nom.
Oh, nice raven.
What the dog doing? You should have said that earlier when Zarg's dogs were going crazy. Oh, that CD with the noggles.
Semi-blended, yeah.
That's a good CD.
Sometimes you get the right body that just makes kind of like the not so great heads look good.
Yeah.
I always thought that was a Wheel of Fortune for some reason.
Sometimes.
From now on, it will be.
Like, that is the ugliest wheel I've ever seen.
I was like, dude, they got Wheel of Fortune in this bitch? That's awesome.
Wheel of Fortune does have a category. Wheel of Fortune does have a category person, place, or thing. So
yeah, it would make sense.
Can I buy a noun?
I don't know, Woody. Can you?
Every day. Every day the opportunity's there.
Good idea for a noun fork.
Carrot copter.
Carrot copter. We don't have a helicopter yet.
And
Woody, that's a good idea for a fork. Vowels. You just make like all vowel nouns.
Mm-hmm.
Can I buy a vowel?
Why?
So only sometimes.
Thank you, Toady.
That was like watching like a really good tennis rally. Like bouncing about. Oh my god.
That just means Toshi and I are hosting too many spaces together.
This is true.
That's a nice earth.
This is a really nice earth.
That's a We Are the World, dude.
You guys are so positive about our homeland.
Yeah.
Illuminati shark.
It looks so much better from above, Toshi.
Oh, someone's trying to front runner.
No.
Is it the same address?
No!
0xc7. I'm not sure whose that is.
Joshua Fisher. I can't believe you've done this.
Checking Etherscan.
We were supposed to get a frog and we're going to get a shark.
Pending still.
Oh, are they really?
Come on, Ethereum. One time. Just end the block. Right now. Can we get the merge? Can we get the merge right now?
Right at this moment?
Oh, it's a dino.
Well,
what?
We got a cool looking shark.
We got rugged.
We got rugged for the shark.
That's okay. Honestly, that's really, really good. So, I mean, regardless, froghead or not, that looks really good. So, we'll take it.
Yeah, it's a very nice noun. There's no question.
Right. They've been bidding on nouns, high bids every day.
Who has this person?
Yeah, the one that rugged us.
But it's not the same as the person that rugged us the last 2 days?
No, I don't think so.
Interesting. Everyone always forgets how long that sound is when they click the button.
Woody, where does the short one go?
Well, I mean, hey, it's a nice noun, at least because the last times that we've gotten rugged when we were trying to get something, we got not great nouns. So at least we got a pretty awesome noun to get rugged.
Agreed. Absolutely. And we also have the experience here as well. As you said, I'm pretty sure you said it's recorded. So at the end of the day, we can at least all know 10 years from now, we made an attempt to get a frog.
There was an attempt. And if you go to nounoclock.app, you can see that a bid was just put in for 0.02 ETH by our very own Ben Body with a message that says, "Happy birthday, Cryptoads." So it's been immortalized.
Awesome. Yeah, that's the incredible thing.
You'll notice that we'll always remember that we don't know who rugged us because of the stupid Illuminati shirt.
That's right.
Hey, Moti, I definitely want to talk about the Cryptoads and the prop house round. I want to remember to
Sure.
talk about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So Seneca reached out, honestly, months ago. I would say prior to NFT NYC, which was June. Seneca has been wanting to do Prop House for cryptos, and now he's doing it for on-chain monkeys and other wonderful communities. For those who are kind of unfamiliar, Prop House is a mechanism and takes away like a lot of the layers that are required when making a proposal for either NounsDAO or the Toads grant program or whatever DAO/grant program other communities have. And removing that overhead allowed 37 proposals to come through. That was divided, 10 ETH was divided into 1 ETH per winner. We actually still have 10 ETH still in with Prop House. And my goal with that was, I feel like there's a lot of confusion sometimes, especially in Discords when there's so many channels. So what I was trying to do was get a few of the proposals that have already passed, like a few of the Prop House proposals that have passed, to slowly remove those channels over time, to kind of stop clogging up a lot of the things that people can and can't see. And then I'm trying to figure out still whether we want to do a 10 ETH round that goes to, let's say, 2 winners at 5 ETH each. Do we want to do 2 ETH for 5 winners, or do we want to do again 10 ETH or 1 ETH per 10 winners? So, long-winded answer, it's a mechanism that distributes ETH and it removes a lot of the overhead that proposals have. It can be very difficult to write up a proposal with all the questions and maybe gray areas that you don't answer, whereas with these 1 ETH proposals that have come through, they're very kind of short and sweet, and whether they proliferate or not is really where the funding starts. And Woody also was somebody who won a Prop House round, and that's why we're releasing Hype tonight at the Decentraland event.
Yeah, that's dope. I can make a new Cryptoads rap song. Yeah, new Cryptoads rap song, and there was a bunch of other things in there that were super fun, and I think it's a great way to encourage the community to do stuff, you know, like that's the most stuff I've seen from Toads, like ideas and things happening. So it's like
we got a lot of engagement for sure from the community, a lot of positive engagement from members of the community that have maybe been a little bit more quiet over the last few months and have kind of sparked interest once again. I think the best thing that Prop House allows too, and I mentioned this many times before, but it allows a lot of, let's call it smaller businesses or smaller treasuries to kind of stretch the ETH. Because like one proposal could be equivalent to 10 ETH, depending on what the proposal is. And obviously it goes through a voting and a veto process as well. So that the community wants for it, they'll vote for it and they'll pass. But that 10 ETH has been able to be split between 10 different people or 10 different projects. And now that really stretches it maybe for 3 or even a 6-month time period, where those projects maybe, let's say it was Cryptoads merch, or maybe let's say in the future, Woody gets a licensing deal because people recognize his audio coming from Toads and Nouns and other various platforms that he uses it on. So I think like being able to fund a lot of small businesses, that's how I see it, and a lot of project ideas, it allows the ETH to really stretch over a longer period of time than kind of draining that treasury wallet as quickly as it could.
For sure. Yeah, it's awesome. There's a new rap song. There's a Cryptoads book, like a children's book. There's a
there's 3D printed. There's an archive node. There's where Sandbox integration is obviously on its way as well. Then there's also another individual who works for the CloneX fam, and I guess he's building with CloneX, so he's actually added Cryptoads attributes to clothing, and you can put that on your CloneX. So there's a lot of crossover that's happening, a lot of good cross-contamination between communities, and I'm really looking forward to doing the next Prop House round. As soon as we start to dwindle down and get a few more of the ones that have already been funded completed, and I know that might be over another month period or so time, but that's my goal anyways, to really just make sure that people don't forget the ones that they already voted on and agreed on, and then are familiarized with now how successful the previous Prop House was, and doing that, in perpetuity for as long as, we possibly can, because it's done wonders for us. I really, really encourage it for any community to at least look into it. Obviously, Seneca is a message away. I've never had a delayed response from Seneca, so definitely recommend it.
That's great, dude.
We were just talking, I think yesterday or the day before on the show about how Prop House is filling that need for so many communities. There was another community called On-Chain Monkey that just recently started using Prop House for their own treasury, and they're not really Nounish in any way, aside from their values. Like they're not related to, they're not CC0, and they're not related to Nouns with their art, but they had very similar values, I guess, in terms of doing public good, and they wanted to try to figure out a way to lower the friction for their treasury, like you just said, Moti. And they started using Prop House. They're on their second round now, and it's just working. And it's funny, when we did a Spaces for Prop House on Tuesday and had their community on, all the pain points that they mentioned that Prop House was solving were the very same ones that Seneca was trying to solve for Nouns, and the same ones that you're just talking about it solving for cryptos. So kind of a pretty good endorsement of the infrastructure.
Could not recommend it enough. I expected a positive response from the community side, but get 37 unique proposals. I mean, some of them probably couldn't be funded, like give ETH to holders and things that I don't think are legal. So we're probably I would say out of the 37, at least 34 were genuine, as you said, frictionless ideas and ways that people could proliferate cryptos. So I definitely saw a positive response from the community, and obviously engagement-wise, I would 100% vouch for Prop House.
It's amazing how just that simple unlock works so well, because I mean, you could make a proposal on cryptos prior to that, and people did. But when you just turn it on its head and say, "Here's the ETH, just give us your ideas," it somehow just makes it real for people, and they're like, "Oh shit, there's 2 ETH here."
A real kick in the butt too, because of the time frame in which you have it in, and it's also the type of ideas that you can get, right? So sure, I guess let's just say the 1 ETH wouldn't be able to fund what you would want, but 5 ETH could. That's why I'd like to question the community if they want to do how they want to split the remaining 10 ETH that's there for that community, and then maybe progress in larger payloads over time. I think what I was most interested in seeing is what the ideas that come up for the amount of money that they come up for, because again, I think that other proposals kind of could slide through for a much expensive overhead cost, whereas it might have been able to just be paid for through 1 ETH. Or can your funding start with just 1 ETH to get you, let's say, to a deadline, and then from there a true proposal comes out to the actual cryptos grant program. So I think that's what it starts unlocking, is this, like, one, you get a swift kick in the butt, you have 1 week to propose, and then the Toads community has 1 week to vote. And before, you kind of, as procrastinators that we are, delayed ourselves or delayed our idea, so maybe somebody else already built it. So I think that's a really strong suit that Prop House has, is like reminding people that the idea doesn't have to be, like you said, frictionless. It doesn't have to be perfect. The proposal doesn't have to be perfect to get passed, but at least the idea is out there for the next person in the event that you're unable to complete it the next round.
Yeah, if I can give some feedback, like putting on my Toady Hawk Prop House hat for a minute, from the other communities that have done Prop House over the last 6 months, I think lean into doing smaller rounds of like 1 or 2 ETH versus doing a large round right away. If only because larger rounds will exclude more people because they won't think that their idea is big enough for the round. But smaller rounds will still attract people with big ideas to do MVPs, or most minimum viable products, that they can prove that something is a good idea, and then with the caveat that they always know they can come back to Toads for additional funding if the idea proves out. So, or to a future Prop House round. So I think that's probably the way to go from what we've seen with most communities. And an example of that I like to give is Noun's naming service, which, believe it or not, started as a 1 ETH Prop House round. So this guy came in, Dom, and he applied to a Prop House round. And I remember the Shark Tank episode that he was on, everyone was kind of like, okay, this seems like a great idea, but don't you think it's a little big for 1 ETH? And Dom said, well, you don't know me. Nobody here knows me from Nouns. I know that I'm going to deliver, but you don't know that I'm going to deliver. So just give me the opportunity to prove out what I can do with 1 ETH, and then we'll take it from there. And now he's basically built an entire analog to ENS for the Nouns Noggles from that one proposal. So great example of what can happen in any community, including cryptos, in my opinion.
That's awesome. I was going to say, I proposed to Cryptodes before I proposed to my girlfriend. Now she's really mad.
What she needs to do is do a prop house where she like basically puts up the rings and then you just have to choose.
You have 1 week.
Yeah.
I think that's a Netflix show actually. If it's not, it should be.
If it isn't, it will be soon.
Yeah,
Speaking
dating by governance.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
You have to submit your application and you have to have a wallet address. Those
Have
are the
your
only two
application
requirements.
with all the bullet points on the prop house. That'd be amazing.
And
I was going to say, speaking of proposals, there's a proposal that went through Cryptodes previously. The homie Doug actually is making Cryptodes coffee, and it was released, I think, like 2 days ago or something, 3 days ago.
Yeah, it was
definitely
on Tuesday, so about 3 days ago.
And if you have a Cryptode, you can go and claim a free bag of coffee. I already claimed mine.
You also have your mistletoe. I think you get 30% off sludge. But either way, you can also purchase a bag of Cryptodes coffee. It actually genuinely has Gremplin's art on it. He actually created the artwork that's on the bag of sludge. So I would hold it 100% recommend it. I have it as a collectible personally. I'm not huge on the coffee grind, so I'll probably hold on to the bag as it is. But it is very, very. It's a very fun talking piece for sure. It is incredible to see in a year artwork that was completely digital now being, I mean, obviously it was printed on merchandise at the very early stages, but now being put on products, I think is what's really, really cool about it.
Amazing. Woody, I had a question for Moti, unless you had something right away.
No, go ahead.
Is it a hard question?
Yeah, we're really going to grill you. I don't think it's too hard. I just wanted to know from the past year, what is your favorite thing? If you had to pick up one thing from the past year that stands out as like a favorite memory of 1 year of Cryptodes, what would that be?
I mean, that's really, really hard to pick from. I actually opened up a ton of tabs. I told you, like I said, I couldn't sleep. I was really, really excited to be able to jump on here, and I'm really excited for what's to come this evening as well with just talking with people. I'm panning through. I'm panning through all of the tabs that I have open, to see what came out of the community when it started. I found one here now where I guess there was a mechanical engineer. It's not it's not my favorite. I will say that, but I found somebody that was a mechanical engineer. And you know how in the original Swamp we had Vibe, which was the Squirtle dancing back and forth, nodding its head. Yep. Those who don't know, that was an OG emote that has been replaced by an actual Toad now, but it still exists as a command in the Cryptodes Discord. But there was a mechanical engineer who created their Toad, and they had it actually vibing with its head back and forth, like an actual. Let me see if I can pin it, or if I can send it to you, and then you can pin it.
Sure.
And then there was a few other things that have come up over time. I mean, even just being able to connect with a lot of OG artists in the space, like, you know, Deep Beef, Snowfro, Alpha Century, Killer Acid, Pop Wonder, Klon from Cool Cats, Marlowe, Buck Render, X Copy, like, and then you have these big major artists, if you will, in the space, you know, creators as well when it comes to, you know, like Gary Vaynerchuk and AJ Vaynerchuk and Marshmello, Steve Aoki, who did not buy the top. He actually bought Toads earlier on, as those who don't know Aoki. But it is extremely encouraging when big names like that, in my opinion, big names in this space that are interested and equally like-minded, are supporting the project as it is. So let me see if I can try to get this over to you. Do you have a favorite memory you can think of off the top of your head?
That's actually a really good question. I think it comes, for me, it comes back to like the genesis of what Cryptodes means to me, which is like early days, being in that Discord, and comparing it to the culture and the vibe in other Discords. And at the time, it was the height of the bull market. And, you know, everyone was all about floor prices. It was Lazy Lions and Pudgy Penguins. Pudgy Penguins version 1, not the current hype of Pudgy Penguins. But it was just a different culture. And then you jumped in the Cryptodes Discord, and it was literally like just people doing the vibe command for like 5 minutes straight, and then just saying, people were like, "Oh, what's the floor price?" And everyone would be like, it's just one toad equals one toad. It was refreshing, I guess, is what you'd say. And it was different, and it was really the first community, I think, to do that, to concentrate on building the community and fostering that versus all the other kind of not so nice stuff about NFTs sometimes. So that's what I think about when I think of toads, and that's why I've never sold my toad.
Well, you just reminded me too, in the very early stages, after Mint Day. So last year it would have been on a Wednesday. I was working at the time after I ended up working from 12 to 8 p.m. my normal old shifts and Eastern, and the drop happened at 9, so I had a full day of work, and then we dropped the mint. I did not go to sleep that day until like 5 o'clock in the morning because I really wanted to make sure that a lot of the discussion that was going on in the Discord was centered around the project and not necessarily, again, the floor price or the next utility or the merch or anything that was coming up or that was common during the time. So I actually called out of work Thursday, Friday, and that following Monday. And that whole weekend and that whole week, I was just in the Discord like 14, 16 hours a day, just making sure that the conversation was really curated around who was Gremplin, articles that came out, what's the intentions, how do we go about what we want to do next with the project. So I was
Crypto is brought to you by Moti's old IRL job.
It wasn't necessarily that, but yeah, it was customer service is my old job, so it just kind of panned over. But I mean, that was actually one of the fondest memories that I do have in the day of the mint, because I was just there, just present for 16 hours a day, and I saw a lot of the same names going, man, have you ever gone to sleep? Back then too, I had a really bad diet, so I was eating like Lunchables and ordering food during the day, and I was just being young, I guess, and a little bit naive, but yeah.
Can we get kind of Lunchable?
Can we get Toads branded Lunchables, please?
I just love the ham and cheese and the turkey Lunchables. Those are go-tos. Also,
nice. I would have picked you to be a pizza person, a pizza Lunchable person
too. Back in the early 90s or late 90s, I think Dunkaroos. Yeah, Toady, that was my diet. That was it.
Like, at what point did we decide it was acceptable to send kids with like a little packet of icing and cookies?
I know.
Don't you dare shame them.
The 90s. Oh, no, I ate them. Trust me. Trust. Yeah. That was my lunch. But
and that's right after just eating a huge bowl of like sugar-coated sugar lumps.
We also did this thing, which I realize is regional. Not everybody did it, but we had this thing in school where we did like ramen noodles, and we would just eat them raw, which sounds terrible.
I used to do that.
And it was terrible.
We did that in Hawaii.
It's just like, okay, we're going to eat copious amounts of salt and then some icing sugar on cookies. We're good.
Is there mammy noodles over there?
What now?
What is that?
Mammy noodles. Like they're basically like somehow baked or cooked version of like ramen noodles, and they're much better for raw eating. They're made for raw eating.
I'm starting to be convinced of Toshi that Ben just makes up products to tell us about on the show. He's like, oh yeah, we used to have soap shoes, and we're like, okay, Ben. And it's just
actually, like soap shoes were pretty awesome. They had the grind plates on them. They were the shoes.
You must have been. Yeah.
Damn, you're ruining it.
Freestyle walking. Hey, if you're gonna make a niche reference, make a good niche reference.
That's true. We won't. Yeah.
Are all the kids over there like, hey, I just got new soaps. Do you want to come over and have some mammy noodles?
Oh my God! Your Australian accent is on point.
There's another thing that came up too, idea-wise, not to take it away from the Dunkaroos, the Lunchables, and the nanny noodles, but in the early stages too, after the mint process happened, because it happened very quickly. Originally, I was telling everybody in the Discord, there was only about 780 so members when CryptoAds first launched, because I actually locked the Discord because we were starting to get kind of botted by a lot of sneakerheads. So we ended up locking the Discord, and some people who unfortunately either weren't there to mint or weren't able to mint because it had sold out so quickly, 12 minutes I think it was. And I was telling everybody, guys, it's going to be a casual mint process. Don't worry, you're all going to get one. So that didn't happen for everybody. And myself, someone, Gremplin, Chan Zero, everybody that was from the team actually just started handing out the ones that we minted, because we just wanted to make sure we can get it reached as many people as possible when it comes to a toad. And one of the stories is actually Gremplin gifted non-fungible Noah, or as we know today, the community engagement for CryptoPunks and Yuga Labs, Noah from Christie's. Gremplin ended up gifting a toad to his mother. So it was just like a full circle event where we were able to include as many people, friends as possible during the mint stage and or the community stage that happened shortly after we opened the Discord. So I think that's also another fun memory too.
And by the way, for those who don't know what a sneaker head is, that's someone who's super obsessed with soapies. What are they called then? Soap shoes, I believe. Is that correct? That's a good segue, Moti, into one question that I had for those that are joining. And maybe there's some people here who aren't familiar with Cryptoadz. Can you tell people what connects Cryptoadz to nouns? What makes Cryptoadz nounish in a sense?
Well, two things. One, Gremplin is an original artist and creator for nouns. He's a nounder, as well as the sole artist for Cryptoadz. And then two, there are toads with noun glasses on them. So there's obviously a direct crossover there for those both blue and red nouns that we see on Cryptoadz today. Does that answer your question? That
is a perfect answer to the question. We always just like to remember here that there's people that are new to nouns and they may not like have that history of having, had Cryptoadz and seen all the corollaries between the two communities. So thanks for explaining that.
I should have said what is at the beginning though. So that's my mistake.
That's right. We'll accept the answer this time only, but for future guests, please always answer in the form of a question. Always on cue, Woody. Does anyone else on the stage have any questions at all or comments about toads, questions for Moti before we move on to some contest news? Going once, going twice. Moti, can you tell us about what's going on tonight?
Yes. So Cryptoadz will have a Twitter space at 9 p.m. this evening. That will be 13 hours from current time, wherever you are. After that 9 p.m. Twitter space, it'll go on for maybe about an hour. We'll just do something very similar to this. We'll reflect on a lot of things that happened throughout the year. That's why I have all the tabs open to kind of remind people, because a lot of people forget on the early stages of what fun stuff was actually generated. And then as we approach about 10 p.m. or so, we'll have DJ Eclectic Method perform in Decentraland at Club Nyancat. They have given us the luxury of being able to have kind of a live performance from Eclectic inside of the Decentraland, or as we know today, the Metaverse. Just kind of jam out for an hour and a half, and Eclectic will go through some of the classic Woody songs, including the performance of Hype.
Eclectic is here, by the way. Shout out Eclectic. I did try to bring him up on stage, but he might not be in a place where he can chat.
Shout out Eclectic, dude. Yes.
Great GFD.
How can we get connected to this?
Two things. I would first follow the Cryptoadz Twitter, because from there we'll do the Twitter Spaces. During the Twitter Spaces, we'll go through and launch the link for Club Nyancat. You will need a desktop. I still don't think Decentraland works on mobile devices. And in the event that you do currently own or owned a Cryptoad as of Tuesday of this week, again, you are open to, on a manifold contract, a commemorative ERC 1155, as well as airdropped a Gremplin Toad helmet that you can wear in Decentraland. But Cryptoad's Twitter, long story short.
I also pinned the announcement up top too, so people can find some information about it above from GI Toads.
I love the helmet so much. It's so cool.
We've had that helmet since Coachella last year. We just never launched it because it was just everything that, however we operate in the space, there are certain people that have great schedules and are good at schedulers. I'm not that person. I'm sorry. I wouldn't say I'm last minute at procrastination, but I'm just somebody that works really well under pressure in the last finalizing. So, I've always worked that way. It might not be the best fit for everybody, but I try my best to kind of facilitate the people who I can that do have current schedules. But yes, we've had this helmet for a little while now, and I'm glad that we're able to get it launched for the anniversary.
Toadchella sounds like the event of the year that I definitely missed.
You totally did.
It was a hell of an event. It was so fun. But this is a good sequel. This is a good. I mean, we had a little bit of event in December as well during the New Year's Christmas time, but it kept on the kind of the BL. And this time around, it's going to be kind of the pre-Toadchella V2 when we have that in the future.
It's going to be fun, y'all. Come through. And shout out to Chris, a.k.a. PR Guitar Man, a.k.a. creator of Nyan Cat. We're going to be up in Club Nyan Cat partying, so come through.
We had Chris on the show, so I guess he's a friend of the show, correct?
Yeah, he was on the. Yeah, he came through for sure. We actually did a party there for us too. So we were.
That was super fun. That was really.
It is such a good it's just a fun venue to hang out in, and now to be able to have like a gremlin hat, a toad helmet on, I think it's just going to be even more enjoyable. So I'm really looking forward to it. And again, I'm really, really grateful for a lot of people who are up on the stage and obviously giving me the opportunity to talk and engage over the last year, because I know watching your journeys has been very rewarding for myself, and I strongly look forward to the future of what holds for Cryptodes, Nouns, and other various communities that have like-minded individuals.
I'm excited to have a Decentraland wearable in my wallet that is not spam also.
True that.
We got so far without any shots fired.
Well, I don't know why, but there seems to be a lot of seems to be something that people always spam is like Decentraland wearables.
I was imagining you walking around wearing just like a can of spam in Decentraland.
No, that's 142 actually. Oh boy. Let's talk about some contests for a minute. We announced finally the winners of our cleanup contest yesterday. It was so hard. We tried to vote on that 3 separate times, and we just kept having trouble finding consensus because there were so many amazing entries. So many of you did such a great job of doing cleanups all over the world, recording it with some inspirational messages. There was just a lot of amazing participation. So thank you so much to our community, for everyone who participated. In case you missed the post yesterday, I did pin it up here a little bit ago. You'll have to scroll over to the right a little bit. I think it's there. Yeah, it's there. And there's an awesome video that highlights a bunch of the entries made by Robot Fish Girl. Thank you, RFG. And so watch that for sure. Share that so that we can get the word out about all the public good that's happening from these contests that we're running. And then we chose the 3 winners that we said we would choose, and we still couldn't, just go to sleep knowing that there were so many other people that put in so much effort. So we ended up choosing 13 bonus entries and awarding them all 0.069. So we went from a 0.75 ETH prize all the way up to a 1.4 ETH prize, just to try to give some recognition to all the people that participated. So thank you so much to everyone who participated in that contest, and we'll have a new contest dropping for you on Monday. So look out for that.
And the current contest, you can actually go and see all of the art entries in the Nouns Museum.
Yeah, very, very cool. Tortita, not Tortilla, has put them all into his museum for us, which must have been a lot of work. So, shout out Tortita, because I know when we're just even populating those entries in for our voting, it takes a while. Ryan Mack can attest to that. So, I appreciate the work that you've done on that, Tortita. And can someone find the link to pin that up so people can start looking at the entries for that contest?
I'll go grab it.
And we'll do some voting on that as a council over the next few days, and announce the winners and the new contest on Monday. How's that?
Love it.
Great.
Let's do it.
Speaking of contests, can we get Contest Toshi on the job of doing a Twitter picture for today's Spaces? Let's give away some ETH.
All right. You know I already have my Twitter picture open. I'm just too good at this now.
I know, you're on the ball.
If you guys love contests like I do, you got to join me tomorrow at 8. Here I will be doing a Contest Toshi. There's a contest every 5 minutes, so it's pretty chaotic, but it's a lot of fun. So, and I'm not going to tell you guys what you could win tomorrow, so you got to show up. But I do have a winner today. Thank you guys so much for retweeting the room. We grow every single day because of you guys, so thank you. That's why we love rewarding you. And this reward is going to go to SL. SL.
Oh, that's awesome.
Your
I
username is
love
at
that guy
Morgway.
as a person.
Oh, really? Let's go.
From the CryptoAds community, yeah, it's a very, very familiar name. I'm very excited to hear that.
Thanks for coming out, SL.
Too.
Well, congratulations, SL. We'll go ahead and DM you from the main account, and thank you so much.
SL is decidedly not SOL, I guess, today. He's got lots of luck.
Wow.
Well done.
I just followed from the main account so we can try and DM. At the moment, DMs are not open. So if you could follow us back or give us a DM, I'll grab your wallet address.
We're completely, trustworthy. We promise. Just ask Moti.
It's so funny getting in the DMs because it's like, congratulations, you won this prize of the Send your wallet address. It's like the most spammy thing ever.
Yeah, exactly. It's the thing people are told not to listen to.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, guys.
Hey, I got this candy. You want to come in this van?
Yeah.
You know what would be funny is if we did an educational spaces where we talk about ways to protect yourself from spam, and then during that spaces we give away a prize, and if we message you and you say yes, then you don't get the prize. I'm just kidding. There will be a test. There will be a test. A lot of people don't realize this, but Woody actually does voices for Family Guy.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I think people who came here would probably like to get a POAP. So Ryan Mack, let's do a POAP.
Here on Noun O'Clock at the Noun Square, we do a daily POAP. POAP stands for Proof of Attendance Protocol. And what a POAP is a digital badge that shows you attended an event like today's Twitter space. If you do not have the POAP app, you can go to poap.xyz. When you get there, in the bottom right corner, hit the mint button. Then you hit the secret word button. Can I please have the POAP sound?
You always ask me for the POAP sound when I'm like getting ready to put the secret word in on mute.
Sorry, Woody. Today's word is toad. Toadz.
Never heard of them.
I have 10 fingers and toads.
That's correct, yes. Ryan, who's doing the POAPs this week? What do we got to look forward to when this populates with the POAP for today?
That would be on Ben. I am actually not sure, Cody. Ben,
yeah, so we've got we had World of Noun. There was a little bit of mix-up with the IDs and stuff, so there's been a few that have changed, and there's one missing in the gap, and then we've got QP Rodriguez starting for this week's. You'll see the last two, I believe. I'll just double-check here. So there's the treasure chest and the rosebud already in there.
So cool. I'm not a big fan of the rosebud head now, but somehow he made it look awesome. In his
exactly. It's a really cool style. Yeah.
This is one thing I love about our POAPs. You know, it's great to have the POAPs to prove that you were here. Super fun. It's great to look back on, but it's just the art that we're finding, like the artists that we're discovering and giving opportunity to get exposure, and not just paying them an exposure. We're also paying them per POAP because artists can't eat exposure. And it's just been amazing to see all the awesome stuff coming in.
Yeah, it really has. That's one of the awesome pleasures of setting up all these POAPs. We get to sift through amazing artwork and have a good conversation with the POAP crew every day. You're like, check out today's artwork. Look how awesome
I can't wait till we get to the point where we can make like a book or something that showcases everything. Like we have the Crypto Voxel spot where we're going to be displaying POAP artists' artwork, but I think some of this stuff is going to definitely be physical at some point.
That'd be awesome. Maybe we should get our friend Mintface involved, and maybe we can do like a 1 year like coffee table book of all the POAP art. That'd be amazing.
Oh,
We're doing this
Yeah,
for a
that's
year.
almanac.
The cool part is, like, Ben and myself have commissioned some of these artists, and they've started other projects too. So it's really cool to help them get off the ground. And it's all from doing these contests with the Noun Square, which is pretty dope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It would be
for
so
sure.
cool if there was like a book, because POAPs are that circular shape. It'd be so cool if it was like a circular shaped book.
Circle book,
You could-
yes. It'd
It
be
just
awesome.
had like a POAP
Yeah.
full.
That gives me an
size.
idea, Robot Fish goes, the book could be a coffee table where it folds out into a coffee table.
Where the
We'll do it
book
live!
is also
Do it
the
live!
coffee table.
That's a Sam Ellis very niche Seinfeld reference there. But
Yeah, the coffee table book.
exactly. This girl gets it. Moti, before we close out for the day, I wanted to ask one more thing that I forgot about. Tell us about Toads on Chain. What's that about?
Yeah, so originally after launching Cryptodes, we recognized that we wanted to embody Cryptodes on blockchain forever, indefinitely. The problem was the cost was very expensive back in the 200 Gwei days, where it cost you, $180 in ETH just to buy something, whether that's through OpenSea or other various platforms that are out there.
Pepperidge Farms remembers.
We always wanted to have Cryptodes on chain after a launch. It's probably a miss that we had at the very early stages, but over time, we worked with Watsi, who was able to really get a good code or a level of compression on a lot of the one-on-ones. For those who don't know, some of the one-on-ones are GIFs or GIFs, however you may pronounce it. And a lot of them are larger in size. So uploading that much data to the blockchain can be very expensive. Originally, I think we were able to get Cryptodes on chain officially as of a few weeks ago. So claps to that. Happy. That was incredible to get that done at 10 Gwei instead of 200. And then I think the total cost was about 18 Ethereum to get all the Cryptodes on blockchain indefinitely forever. And
I feel like that must have been like 5 ETH for all the pixel ones, and then like
I
13
think
ETH
originally it was about two ETH and change for a lot of the GIFs or GIFs, however you pronounce it. So yeah, it was mostly those. Yes. There was also difficulty in the metadata because we didn't differentiate tall and short toads. I know Woody knows all about that. So that was also the difficult process that we had to kind of overcome. But if we were to have launched it in, let's say, the hype or the peak of the market that we had a year or so ago, it'd probably be closer to about 200 to 230 Ethereum, comparatively to the 18 that we actually did spend on getting Toads on chain. So, yay, we got Toads on chain. I'm so happy for that. But
this is why we build through the bear, right?
Yes, exactly. I think that was what a lot of people did not know about a lot of the discussions that we had on the back end for Cryptodes. And getting it on chain is something we've always wanted to do. It was just not very cost effective to do it during kind of the hype or the peak.
Awesome. For people who don't know the difference, what does it mean for an NFT to be on chain versus on something like IPFS?
All I can say is IPFS has a way or rhyme or reason that it can go down, and or the token URL or ID could be changed. And anyone who's smarter than me, please feel free to answer this. I'm more on the community side of stuff than tech.
I like to say it's on-chain versus non-chain.
Yes, so hosted files in IPFS versus being stored on the metadata being in info and images being stored on chain.
In other words, so long as Ethereum exists, yep. your Toads exist now.
Exactly correct.
And hopefully the merge goes well.
I was just gonna say, so long as the Toads don't get lost in the merge. What a tragedy that would be.
We finally got Toads on chain, and then the merge happened.
You know what would be great is if
it'd
be great if we went through the merge and the Toads came like out mutated on the other side. No, I'm just kidding. That's not how it works.
Well, Tony, I was gonna say too to Moti, man. Like with Tiny Dinos and the CC0, we've copied a lot of things that you guys did and laid the groundwork for. So I just wanted to say thank you for all the stuff you guys trailblazed. We replicate a lot of stuff that you guys do. So just wanted to say we appreciate it for sure.
Well, no, I appreciate that you saying that because the feelings are one, mutual, and two, what's funny is a lot of the stuff that we're doing now or bulldozing our way through is actually something that Nouns originated. So it just goes full circle when it comes to, again, surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals that have the same ideas or similar ideas for another outcome, and being able to kind of look at Nouns as, I guess I'm not going to say it's a parent figure, but I'm going to say there's a lot of similarities between our communities. And I think that's why the crossover is so great, even more so now with Tiny Dino. So to being able to almost pass that on project by generation or project by project, it's very wholesome to hear that. So thank you for those kind words. And again, kudos to Nouns for kind of starting this kickoff.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Moti, for joining us here today. On short notice, we kind of, as we were putting the schedule together for this week, we forgot about CryptoAD's anniversary. And when we realized it was coming up on Wednesday, I was like, yo, Woody, we got to get Moti on Friday. It's got to happen. And we appreciate you coming on and celebrating with us. It's been awesome.
It's always been a real pleasure talking and working with you guys. I could only have imagined this a year ago, and to now be a part of it, even as early as I did have to wake up to do it, I'd do it again and again.
At least you're not on the West Coast, are you? You're not on the West Coast, are you?
No, I'm over here in the Northeast.
Okay, because on the West Coast, it's still real early. It's like 5:30 in the morning, so that's why we probably don't have Sir Nodes here with us today. But soon enough, we'll be in, full-on Nouns spring all across North America. So looking forward to that. We survived Nouns winter, American Nouns winter together. Good job, everybody. For those of you who are all over the world, in the lower hemisphere or in Asia or in Europe, it hasn't even been Nouns winter yet. So you guys have had it easy. And speaking for those folks, Zargs, why don't you tell everyone what's coming up on Soapbox? What's Soapbox and what do you have going on today?
Today at noon will be a slow start for international nouns. And so what we're going to do is get together, everybody we can, and talk about all the different resources and how to onboard into various things. And specifically, we're going to touch on soapboxes for those international communities today, which is just really exciting because I know everybody's been looking for ways to bring non-English speaking soapboxes up. So it'll be really exciting. And so I've developed some tools that we'll be talking about and kind of a central place for people to publish their events and things going on in real life. And so we're going to be having all of the Downs on the Ground things will be in there. And we're going to have a place for Twitter Spaces by language. So you'll be able to look for things that are specifically in your own language and stuff like that. So I'm thrilled about that.
Very cool. And for once, we have to do a very rare shout out Twitter for finally allowing us to schedule 10 spaces at a time. Oh my gosh, how nice!
Thank God.
We started this soapbox program last week where we are basically opening up the Noun Square to any Nounish community or CC0 community that wants to have spaces and wants to sort of leverage our platform as a win-win. So that's what Soapbox is all about. And if you are a member of a Nounish community that would like to try it out, just get in touch with us, slide in our DMs, and we can get you started. But when we started this, you could only book one spaces at a time. So it was really frustrating because if you might have noticed, we have a space every single day. And so then we were adding at least 1 to 2 per day, and it was very hard to manage. But now we can schedule 10, so we can do each week in advance for all the soapboxes and everything. So, very, very timely update from Twitter. Maybe they're listening to us. I don't know. So that's what's going on with Soapbox. And then, of course, over the weekend, we'll have our light version, which is a very quick and dirty 30 minutes or less FOMO light that we do on the weekends. So tomorrow and Sunday morning, join us. Just play a quick game of FOMO, chat a little bit, and then we'll be back to our regular format next week. We're going to put out an announcement later today with the full lineup, but next week we have a pretty awesome lineup of technical guests. So we've got people like from Juan from Composables. We've got Yitong from what's it called? Agora. Thank you. We've got Vape Ape, one of the founders of Nouns, coming to join us on Thursday. And what's so special about Thursday next week, Ben? Hopefully.
Well, it's when we're hopefully going to have a successful merge with on Ethereum, where we switch to the permanent block Plank. So FOMO is we're going to have a few seconds to check what we're going to vote for instead of just banging on things and being like, oh my God, it got the wrong vote.
I love how you described the merge.
Allegedly.
I love how you described the merge as making FOMO better. Oh, and also it switches from proof of work to proof of stake, but who cares about that?
Yeah. Don't worry about the underlying. How does it affect noun?
Forget the details.
Carbon footprint. Why do I care about that? All I care about is having consistent FOMO.
Exactly. That's why the U.S. government is talking about banning proof of work, because it's not as good for FOMO, I believe.
Exactly. I've always known it.
So that is our week coming up next week, a full slate week of big-brained devs and technical guests who are all going to talk about their work and potentially their opinions on the merge as we lead into Merge Day Thursday. For those who don't know, the merge is scheduled by block, so we don't actually know exactly what day it's going to happen, but it's queued up to be somewhere around noon EST right now on Thursday, September the 15th, and that could slide a little bit in either direction depending on how many miners drop out of the race. So for example, some people might say, okay, pack it up, I'm done mining, I'm going to sell my miners to the highest bidder before everyone else does. That's why there could be some fluctuation, but we'll keep an eye on it. And either way, for sure, it's going to be next week. So
speaking of fluctuation, I'm excited for the network to take its first shark.
Oh,
See you guys tonight.
That's amazing. I like this song.
And if you want to check out the niche references from today, it's the second pinned tweet. I put up Mammy Noodles and Soap Shoes. They're real, I promise.
Can't wait to hear your new track, Woody.
Sam just couldn't resist making a semi-solid joke right at the end of the show.
Thanks for coming through, Moti.
Pleasure.
Happy birthday,
guys.
Toads.
Wish everybody the best day, morning, afternoon.
Happy birthday, Crypto!
Vibe on.
Happy birthday, Cryptoads.
Happy birthday.
I would like to apologize to all the parents in the audience for having made you listen to this song again.
It's got a nice beat and it's easy to dance to.
As kids' songs go.
I've been that dad that's depriving my kids of this song.
Good for you, Ben.
Your music is rugging a little bit, Woody, but I guess it's fitting because we got rugged by a shark.
Yeah.
We got rugged shark.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, I'll see everybody tonight, 9 p.m. at the Crypto's Twitter, and then we'll move on to the Central Land at 10 p.m. with the Collective Method Performance guys. So, again, 9 p.m. Crypto's NFT Twitter. See you on there. 10 o'clock shortly after, we'll go to the Central Land and jam out. Obviously, a live performance with the Collective, as well as hype being released by Woody.
Thanks again, Moti.
Thanks, everybody. We love to see it. Shout out Bonies. There would be no Bonies without Toads. I see you down there in the Bone Zone.
Really?